Right now, another homeowner says a bus pad was put in their front yard with no warning, while the city of Middleton is disputing that claim.
And authorities are looking into a potential sightings, that is, of a cougar in Rock County. We will hear from one man who claims he spotted one.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
And we start tonight with breaking news from the Channel 3000 Alert Center. The Madison Police Department is conducting an internal investigation after receiving an excessive use of force complaint.
This video here was posted to Facebook. A spokesperson for the family says staff at West High School reported a 17-year-old for using foul language and for being disrespectful. And according to that Facebook post, the student left the school and police were sent to his home. That is where this footage was taken. Now, police say officers knew the teen had a mental health history and planned to take him to the hospital, but officers say he refused to comply. You can see in the video that one officer punched him multiple times. After a struggle, one of the officers suffered thumb and rotator cuff injuries. The boy was transported to Winnebago Mental Health Institute. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll hear what the mayor is saying about the incident. Next at 6, the bus pad is back. You may remember last month we told you about a woman in Madison who says she wasn't told a new bus pad would be put in front of her house.
And now a family in Middleton says they were also surprised by a new bus pad in front of theirs. Amy Reed joins us now to show us why the city of Middleton says they communicated the best they could. Amy?
This family lives on University Avenue. The city figured while they were doing construction there, they can upgrade and consolidate bus stops. But the Garn family said they weren't told that would put a bus pad in front of their home.
Last Thursday, my wife got home, texted me a message and said, hey, is there a bus stop going in front of our house? I said, not that I know of.
This bus pad came as a surprise to Nate Garn.
I'm not happy immediately. While we do want to support public transportation, we aren't crazy about it being so close to our house.
What he doesn't like more, he says, is he and his family had no idea. But the city of Middleton says otherwise by sending this mailer to Garn at the start of the project. It says bus stops will be shifted closer to Bristol, the intersection near their home.
That's not exactly specific, but yeah, Bristol Street is right here, so it doesn't say whether it's going here or before.
Mark Opitz with the city explained this is in an effort to make the stops safer and more accessible by having them closer to intersections with lights.
And the reason why the stop is located here is because when the bus passes through the intersection, the bus is about 40 feet long, and it needs to clear and provide adequate sight distance at the crosswalk.
The city has been making these changes for the last 5 years, and in Madison, the bus service plans to update all stops to pads over the next 5 years for the same reasons of accessibility and safety. Garn understands some homeowners have to take one for the team, but he hopes city and metro still take them into account.
I would actually like to see them reach out to the residents that, hey, there's going to be a bus stop directly in front of your house, and where's it going to be located? Right here. How large is it going to be? What's the ridership going to look like? How many buses are going to be stopping per day? That type of thing.
While Opitz agrees that communication is important, he said there's only so much the city can do.
You know, there's a limit to how much the city can specifically contact an individual property owner about every little detail that could affect their specific property in conjunction with the project.
Middleton said the bus pads, which are in the public right-of-way, do not need to be maintained by residents. In the city of Madison, where this issue has been focused before now, Metro said they are putting together notices with bus stop changes that they expect to send to homeowners next week.
Port Atkinson police say they have no intention of citing retailers for selling CBD products. Yesterday, you may remember we brought you a story about the department's Facebook post, one that got a lot of attention for asking local businesses to stop selling CBD. That also listed fines that sellers could face as a result. Now, police posted an update to that post saying it was meant to be educational so sellers know the current laws.
So weather now, lots of sunshine today, and it's looking like that will stick around a bit. Let's check your first alert forecast now with meteorologist Dave Caulfield. Dave?
Well, Eric, temperatures reached the lower 80s across much of southern Wisconsin today with plenty of sunshine after that early round of showers and storms rolled through pretty early this morning. We do have one thunderstorm that is forming because of that lake breeze that is really causing convergence of air, and that is in turn causing that thunderstorm, and actually is a severe thunderstorm in portions of Outagamie and Winnebago counties. I really don't think this will make it farther, much farther to the south, but there's a chance that Dodge County could see a few raindrops later on tonight. That's basically it. Platteville will stay dry on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam. We're dry right now with temperatures in the lower 80s in Platteville, 80 even in Madison, and 79 in Watertown. You can actually see that convergence of the air there with that lake breeze closer to Fond du Lac and then down south through Waukesha as well. So we'll watch that, but really not expecting too much activity as we head into the rest of the evening. Temperatures should make it into the upper 70s tomorrow after some morning fog. The sunshine will be out. We'll talk about how long this dry weather will last in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Dave. Wisconsin lawmakers still do not agree on how to fund the state's transportation needs. So some Republican senators are now proposing to use $133 million in budget reserves to pay for road repairs.
The plan that we are announcing today will dedicate meaningful one-time funding to make significant improvements in our local roads. We want to help our local leaders to fix the roads right now.
Lawmakers are asking counties and towns to identify what maintenance needs to be done on roads and bridges in their areas, but they have not said or say they haven't come to a deal with Assembly Republicans. Now, the Joint Finance Committee will vote on road funding tomorrow.
Also in the Senate today, lawmakers voted on a pack of abortion bills.
They are on their way to the governor's desk following a 17-14 vote. Keely Arthur joins us now with the details. Keely?
Well, Evers is expected to veto all of these bills. The most controversial, the Born Alive bill, which addresses the rare occurrence in which a baby is born alive during an abortion attempt. Republicans and Democrats sparred over that bill today, which, if passed, would impose criminal penalties on doctors who fail to give medical care to such babies. Organizations representing physicians, along with Democratic opponents, say existing laws already provide protections to healthy newborns under any circumstances, but Republicans argue stronger protections are needed.
How could anyone object to this? While the intent in current statutes may be to provide protection to children born alive, it is not proven to be enough. That is why we are here taking this up today.
They will stop at nothing to push their agenda to ban safe, rare, legal abortions, including making outlandish accusations that are not based in fact or medical science.
All Democrats voted against these bills, and all Republicans were in support, except Senator Andre Jacques, who wanted the measure to go further and allow for the mother to face felony charges. Evers is expected to veto these bills within days. Republicans don't have enough votes to override that veto.
Certainly something we will keep an eye on. Thank you, Keely. Today, the Senate also passed legislation that would allow electric scooters on Wisconsin roads. Cities would be able to pass ordinances to allow companies to rent the scooters and determine their own regulations. The president of Downtown Madison, Inc. told News 3 Now that those regulations are important to prevent overcrowding issues like Dallas and Austin have seen. The Assembly and governor still need to approve that bill.
Community leaders are honoring a Madison College student who survived cardiac arrest thanks to her classmates' quick response. Today, Dane County Executive Joe Parisi and Madison fire officials recognized 28-year-old Tori Smith. She has a history of type 1 diabetes and Addison's disease as well. Tori was actually participating in EMT training when she went into cardiac arrest. Her classmates immediately jumped in, performing chest compressions on her for about 60 minutes and saving her life. Now she's sharing her story to encourage others to learn what to do during a cardiac event.
It's a scary instance. You're freaking out kind of. It's like, oh my goodness, now what? My husband or my girlfriend or my boyfriend, my child has dropped, he's not breathing, I don't know what to do. Learn some CPR. You could save somebody's baby, you could save somebody's husband or wife and make their story. You could be a part of somebody else's story by doing that.
According to the American Heart Association, every minute without CPR decreases survival chances by 10%. In honor of CPR AED Awareness Week, Dane County first responders are encouraging people to become trained in CPR and download an app called Pulse Point. The app alerts trained bystanders when there's a cardiac event near them so they can help.
The Department of Natural Resources says it is too early to tell whether or not a cougar sighting in Rock County is actually credible.
That sighting was reported to police Tuesday morning. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter spoke to the person who says they saw it. He joins us from our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with the latest. Adam?
Well, Eric and Danica, the DNR says they will definitely have their work cut out for them over the next several weeks when it comes to confirming this cougar sighting in Beloit. But for the person who saw it, he says he has no doubt. On a sunny day in June, it's easy to find people fishing near the Rock River. Luke Reintz is no different.
Just at home and I couldn't sleep, so I came out here to go fishing. I think I got here at like 3 in the morning. I set up and threw a couple poles in the water.
But Reintz soon realized he wasn't alone.
I saw something out of the corner of my eye, did a double take, and that's when I saw it kind of moving out a little farther.
He says what he saw was a cougar. The DNR says in 2018, there were 31 cougar sightings across the state of Wisconsin. While they say it's rare, it's not impossible. And while many fishermen might panic while face-to-face with the cougar, Reintz says he knew what to do.
Don't run away, because then it's interested, it'll chase you. If you can, back away slowly. If it starts following you, do what other people have said. Raise your arms in the air, get as big as you can, and start yelling. Throw anything you have except your phone.
After making it back to his truck, he called Beloit police, who walked with him back to the bridge. But when they got there was no sign of the cougar. Reintz says he knows what he saw was real.
Some people assume that I'm not very credible, or I was out here and had been drinking or something, but I mean, I was as sober as you can get.
The DNR says the next step is to make contact with Beloit police for the full report of what happened. Then they'll start the process of looking for tracks or anything else the cougar could have left behind. Today, Reintz has a message for anyone else fishing along the Rock River.
I would just practice a little more caution, just like everyone else should, which is the only reason I posted it in the first place, just to give people a heads up.
And the DNR says it could take several weeks to confirm this cougar sighting. And they say in the future, in addition to the advice that Luke gave, the best piece of advice that they have is to try and get a picture in some way of the animal if you do think it's a cougar. They said that that's the biggest piece of help that they can get in terms of verifying whether it is or not.
All right, Adam Duxter in Rock County. Adam, thank you. And just ahead, Dane County leaders want to make sure the woman who designed the jail's education program gets the send-off and the thanks she deserves.
We will share how they are honoring Teacher Deb and her decades of service when News 3 Now at 6 continues. Welcome back. A beloved teacher is retiring after decades of helping young people in jail continue their education. 23 years ago, a legislative change required school districts to provide services to youth in adult jail settings. Deb Anderson, or Teacher Deb as she's known, decided to get involved. She was the one to design a high school within the Dane County Jail, and today she celebrated her retirement. The sheriff's office saying she brought with her a love of teaching, commitment to serving youth in need, and enough energy to create the program from scratch.
It feels bittersweet. I'm leaving a job that I love, but it's time for a rising star to come in, and I have things to do in the community and hoping to find the next thing that I love to put my energy into.
Congrats to her, and the sheriff's office says Madison School District staff will continue building upon the legacy that Teacher Deb has created.
Well, tomorrow is the start of Madison Burger Week. The citywide celebration showcases the best burgers in town and asks the community to choose their favorites. The event is also a fundraiser for the River Food Pantry. Each participating restaurant will donate $100 to the pantry. Budweiser will donate $1 for every beer sold. For more information, go to madburgerweek.com.
Speaking of food pantries, as students get ready for summer break, the food pantry at Goodman Community Center is still looking for donations. That center says food insecurity is at its worst in the summertime. One reason is because families who've been dependent on free and reduced meal programs at their child's school aren't able to access some of those services. Along with food donations, the Goodman Center is asking people to donate plastic grocery bags they might have piling up. They also are looking for personal hygiene products, household supplies, and diapers.
A reminder, tomorrow marks the 75th anniversary of D-Day, and CBS News will have a special report that includes the commemoration program, President Trump's live address from Normandy as well. And you'll have to get up early, but it should be a special event. You can start watching it at 3:50 a.m. News 3 Now this morning will immediately follow.
Well, the beautiful weather that we saw today looks like it'll stick around for a little bit.
No rain in the forecast until Saturday night. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield will have your first alert forecast next.
Good evening. I hope you had a really nice Wednesday on this Yeah, it is Wednesday, right? Yeah? Yep. All right. Yeah, sorry. It's tough to keep days straight, especially when the weather is this nice. You just want to look outside and watch the clouds go by and just enjoy things. Now, I think the Mother Nature and the atmosphere heard me when I was rejoicing about the dry weather, because we actually do have a thunderstorm just to the north and east of us. I really don't think this has much to go on. It formed, it's actually a severe thunderstorm moving into Winnebago County, formed on that sea breeze front. So that can actually spark up some thunderstorms given the right conditions. Well, there really aren't very many good storm conditions out there. So this is the little storm that could, and I really don't think it will be around much longer. So not really affecting too many of us, but you can see it's forming right as those winds are converging off of the lake and off of the warmer land. And we can see that that kind of boundary goes all the way farther south into places like Waukesha. So I really don't think any storms are going to impact the vast majority of southern Wisconsin. Tonight we'll be enjoying some more sunshine over the next hour or so. Madison at 80 degrees, 82 in Janesville, 81 in Monroe. Sunshine as well in Platteville on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam overlooking this part of Grant County. Moving into Dane County in Madison, the WISC-TV Skycam, not really much in the way of clouds at all. So our high today of 81 is about 5 degrees above normal for this time of year, and our low actually ended up 10 degrees above normal. We'll be a little bit cooler tonight, but not by much. Watch out for some patchy fog at times into early Thursday morning. Partly cloudy otherwise, with temperatures in the upper 50s. For tomorrow, we're in the upper 70s, mostly sunny and very mild outside. After any fog burns off in the morning, we'll enjoy some more sunshine by Thursday afternoon. You can see Future Track trying to hint at some patchy, maybe some dense fog in spots for tomorrow morning, but by the afternoon that sunshine returns, highs in the upper 70s. That onshore flow continuing with high pressure off to our east, so the lakeshore will be pretty chilly over the next couple of days. Keep that in mind. Temperatures will be closer to 80 degrees by Friday with that sunshine with us once again. Your 7 to 10 day forecast showing things on the dry side as we head into the next couple of days, and then we are looking at storm chances returning into Sunday and Monday. By the time we get into next week, our temperatures are pretty steady in the 70s, and we'll be right back.
And we're live at Monona Terrace as the Madison Sports Hall of Fame gets 4 new members tonight. We'll have the story coming up in sports. Good evening from Monona Terrace and Convention Center. We're here for the 57th Annual Madison Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony. 4 new members will be going into the Madison Sports Hall of Fame tonight, and they include Mike Plotz, who 50 years ago won his first Madison Men's City Golf Championship. Plotz played on Madison West State Championship team and later for the University of Wisconsin. He also played in 48 city and state tournaments. He won 12 of them. He was in the top 10 31 of the 48 times and never missed a cut. Joining Plotz in the Madison Sports Hall of Fame tonight is Craig Anderson, the great basketball star at Madison La Follette and the University of Iowa. John Krugman, another La Follette athlete who many consider to be the greatest all-around athlete this city has ever seen. He broke Ellen Amici's Big 8 football scoring record back in the day. And Peggy McCarthy Bailey was a member of the first ever U.S. national and Olympic rowing team, and they'll all be inducted into the Madison Sports Hall of Fame tonight. Well, it has been rumored for a long time, and today it became fact. The Packers will play a preseason game in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada on August 22nd. It's technically a home game for the Oakland Raiders. Now, the Raiders will have the distinction of being the first NFL team to play games in 3 different countries in the same season. Their home games are in the United States, the Packer preseason game in Canada, and the game against the Chicago Bears in London. That'll be during the regular season. Well, we heard this week that Jordy Nelson will come back to Green Bay this summer and sign a 1-day contract and retire as a Packer. His close friend Aaron Rodgers says that's the way it should be for Jordy Nelson.
There's a few guys over the years who've really, you've gotten close to and love playing with, and Jordy's one of those guys, consummate professional, one of the greatest wide receivers in Packer history, and that's a long and illustrious history.
It's not just another regular season game for the Brewers tonight. Jimmy Nelson is the Brewers' starting pitcher against the Miami Marlins. It's Nelson's first start in 21 months since he hurt his shoulder sliding back into first base in a game at Wrigley Field in September of 2017. At the time, Nelson didn't think the injury was that big a deal, but it certainly was. He had reconstructive surgery on his right shoulder, missed almost a year and a half, but tonight he makes his return for the Brewers. Madison Mallards have just started their game at Warner Park against the Green Bay Booyah. The Mallards haven't lost yet this season. 8 straight wins to start the year. That is a Mallards franchise record. And another unwritten rule in baseball was broken last night on the AA level. Trenton's Matt Lipka laid down a bunt in the 9th inning to break up a Hartford Yard Goats no-hitter. That, of course, is against one of baseball's so-called unwritten rules. So the Yard Goats took exception. Both benches emptied. It was only a 3-0 game, so you could make the case Lipka was playing good baseball, but those Yard Goats certainly didn't agree. So if there's all these unwritten rules, wouldn't it make sense to write them all down so everybody knows what's going on? My wife suggests it's a guy thing, but, you can discuss amongst yourselves. Danica and Eric, back to you.
We hear about them all the time, the unwritten rules. Jay, have a wonderful evening down there at Monona Terrace. Should be a special night. Quick final check, or do we have time for that?
Yeah, I think so. The weather looking nice tonight with temperatures falling through the 70s. It'll be nice tomorrow, too.
All right. See you back here at 10, folks.